Business in the 217. It is the WMAY morning news feed here. I'm Greg Bishop, and as we do each and every Wednesday, let's connect now with Michelle Ownbey from the Springfield Business Journal, the publisher of the Springfield Business Journal, and we'll tell you about the great things you can find each and every publication and how you can get some stuff sent to your email to keep plugged in with what's going on in the business community. Michelle, thanks for taking time.
Good morning, Greg.
So a lot to get to. Let's go ahead and start with the downtown farmers market. Heading back, looking forward to this, of course, today, Wednesday. They're going to be operating, and then we're going to be looking at weekend operations as well. What's going on?
Right, and I think a lot of folks will be glad to know this is definitely closer to the usual farmers market. Of course, they still ask that people wear masks and take precautions and all that, but last year was a pretty scaled back version. This year, they're able to bring back the live music, the chef's demonstration, the kids' activities. So, as we know, the farmers market is certainly a great opportunity to buy some locally grown products, but also a good opportunity to participate in things as well. So there's going to be a lot more socialization and activities happening this year.
And I believe they're even going to let your dogs come down too.
Yes.
Bring the masks, bring the dogs, bring the appetite. And also it's a great opportunity for people who may be on supplemental nutrition assistance. They can use some of those SNAP benefits at the farmers market. And you can find out more with Downtown Springfield Incorporated. And of course, that starts up Wednesday and heading into the weekends as well with Saturday events. We're talking with Michelle Ownbey from the Springfield Business Journal here. And something else downtown, a little bit of an interesting development between the city and several businesses when it comes to the Adams Family Patio. For people who aren't familiar with the Adams Family Patio, it's kind of a self-named area of downtown Springfield, but what's going on there?
Right, kind of the part of the same area that gets blocked off for the farmers market. And as you mentioned, over the last few years, they've taken to calling themselves the Adams family of businesses. You've got Cafe Moxo there, Buzz Bomb across the street. Last year during COVID, they were both set up tents. We're doing a lot of outdoor dining. Buzz Bomb had live music outdoors and that sort of thing, and turned into really a very popular destination. And they had actually gotten permission from the city to go ahead and continue that this year, blocking off that section of Adams. Supposedly they had talked to all the business owners on both sides of the street and gotten permission to do that. Everybody was on board with the idea, but now it turns out that some of the nearby businesses, not in that block, but nearby, J.P. Kelly's Haxel Law Office, went to the mayor and complained. They had concerns both about the noise from the live music and also people being able to access their businesses with that section being closed off. So the mayor backpedaled a bit, and the compromise was that they would narrow Adams Street down to one lane so that cars would still be allowed through, but not the heavy traffic. But that does mean that there will not be able to be live music out on the patio. So certainly, especially when the businesses were already told that they could proceed with their plans, that's kind of thrown a wrench into things and caused a lot of controversy, and unfortunately now some challenges between the business owners downtown.
Yeah, and Mayor Jim last week making that announcement, seeming to catch some of these businesses off guard because they say they have a permit through all of the month of May. But that is now seemingly going to be rescinded a bit. We see this a lot in this conversation about Springfield downtown, how to make it more vibrant. Michelle, you've been around for a long time dealing with commercial real estate as well. How do we combat some of the perceptions out there that people want to get back downtown, they want to make it vibrant, but then they run into these types of regardless of which side you're on, they run into these kind of mixed messages, saying one thing and then a few weeks later changing direction. How do we combat that?
Right. Well, it's definitely a catch-22 because, as you said, everybody, I think, would be in agreement that they want downtown to be a destination for people from all over the city. You want it to be vibrant and active. We hear a lot of talk about young people coming downtown, wanting to entice people to live downtown so that there's more residents to then patronize the shops and businesses. But then the other side of that is now you've got business owners saying, well, we need it to be quiet. We don't want loud music. We don't want a lot of traffic. We want a nice living environment for these people. But I think when you look at other cities and what other cities have done, Springfield definitely has an addiction to cars for whatever reason. When a lot of other cities have been very successful with a more walkable model, in Springfield, we like to pull up right to the front door of a strip center. But I think if we can kind of change our mentality a little bit and factor more of that walkability in, that will definitely help make both downtown and some of the older neighborhoods in Springfield more attractive to people.
Michelle Ownbey joins us. She's with the Springfield Business Journal on the WMAY morning news feed for Business in the 217. Continuing on with other highlights that we have here, new sauna opening up. Tell us about that.
Yes, well, this is in the theme of people who have decided to go a different life direction during COVID. This is definitely a recurring theme as I chat with different people. A number of entrepreneurs that have decided to start their own businesses, and Ann Cowhick is one. She's worked at a retail store for a number of years, but when things shut down for almost 3 months last year, she said she had a lot of time to think and reflect. She started doing some research and decided that she wanted to bring a sauna studio to Springfield. So she is opening up Peace, Love, and Sweat. And she's going to be in that little strip center on Liberty Drive, which is right there behind the Target, across from SkyZone. We've got Gypsy Soul already in there, and then Little Lincoln's Toys, and she will be the third tenant. This is actually a space that has never been occupied since the strip center was constructed. Back in 2018, we had reported that Sweet Charlie's, a rolled ice cream place, was scheduled to go in there. That was a franchise arrangement, but that fell through. They never opened. The space remained vacant, but now Ann is going to be opening up a sauna studio. She's shooting for a July open date.
Very cool to see people kind of reevaluate themselves over the past year and chase their passions. And that seems to be something else that another well-known individual in the Springfield area did over the pandemic. Tell us about a change of profession for somebody who's in hospitality but not looking to get into the insurance game.
Yeah, so Damon Priddy, he is a Springfield guy, grew up here, and as you mentioned, he's been in the hospitality industry about 20 years. He was the general manager of the State House Inn for almost a decade, and then more recently managed 2 different hotels in Lincoln for the McGraw family. But again, during COVID, he said he had a lot of time to think and to reevaluate. He had a former coworker from State House Inn who had opened her own State Farm agency, so he was a little familiar with the process through her. So he has now gone through all the steps to get licensed and is planning to open his own office over on Montvale as of June 1st. A gentleman named Mike Sauer is retiring from State Farm after 47 years in the business, and his office was nearby. He was over on Isles. So Damon is hoping to be able to take over some of his book of business and get himself established with his new office.
Well, best of luck to everybody chasing their passions, making things happen here in the Springfield business community. Michelle Ownbey, Springfield Business Journal. If people want to stay plugged in with the Springfield Business Journal, and they should, how can they get those regular emails and get the publication sent to their home or office?
Absolutely. You can go to springfieldbusinessjournal.com and get signed up for Biz Bites. That's our weekly newsletter, and it comes out every Wednesday free of charge. And then, as you mentioned, you can also make sure you get the print edition delivered to your home or office.
This is Business in the 217 on the WMAY morning news feed. Michelle, have a great day.
Thanks, Greg.